massive once you get those kills and the frozen dudes start coming out. It's great for doing that AoE damage right in your face against a composition that's in your face all the time. Bard also fantastic at disengaging and isolation, so I feel like it is another great pick that goes well with the comp and is good against what SANDBOX has, as the final pick will be the Gragas.
Yep, that's going to be on Fleek in the jungle.
He looked pretty happy about that. He was laughing at his arms up in the air.
And I like how the Gragas works in this comp as well with what Team Dynamics want to do. I mean, we are
going to hop on the Rift here for game number 2.
Yep, making our way out as Dynamics. Let's see what they can do to make sure this one is going to be that easy 2-0 like they were talking about towards the end of their last match. As we were checking out the pro view, of course, they were pretty outspoken with how comfortable they were. No, come on. It's the wrong Bard skin again. Needs to be Snow Day Bard. Where's the cup of cocoa?
I could go for a cup of cocoa right now, actually.
Me too. Me too. Maybe it's good that he doesn't have the cup of cocoa skin, so we're not getting too ready for cups of cocoa instead of concentrating on the game.
Yeah, I don't know. The weather's getting warmer out here in Korea. It's actually really nice, especially because COVID-19 isn't super serious in Korea right now. It's a great time to go out and hang out outside. And it's been nice, but still, I could go for a cup of cocoa.
Yeah, it's like turn on the air conditioner really hard, and then just drink your cup of cocoa. They're perfect.
Sounds very wasteful, but nice. It's a lot of armor taken there by Summit in his, what do you call those, secondary runes, the small runes.
Just on the runes is probably how I'd say it.
The Rooney Doonies, as the Australians say it.
Yeah, we definitely say that. Yeah, 100%. Let's see how this lane goes. See whether it is going to be finally FaZe's time to get a loss on this Aphelios. As far as how this matchup works, I think it's probably absolutely fine for Dynamics, especially given the fact that they do have the Enchanter support in the Bard. Should really help them be able to get some advantages here, but you can see Gorilla already dazzling his opponents.
It's outrageous.
It is.
What he's able to do here on the Taric. So aggressive. Now trying to push for level 2. It looks like Guger and FaZe are going to hit that first.
Yep, Onslaught going to come out here from FaZe just to do some extra damage to both Root and Gorilla. But Guger doing a decent job at being able to avoid these pierces and extra bits of damage that Root can put down. Very even though right here as good Cosmic Binding comes down onto Gorilla, who gets himself a very long ward through that wall. And will spot Beyond moving up the river. And on Fleek, going to be able to get through his jungle before he has to deal with any of this troll shenanigans. Beyond still playing aggressively as they do understand exactly where both of the junglers are on both sides.
Yeah, it looks like the Trundle went blue, Gromp, red, and he was able to hit level 3 because of that and get in the face of the Gragas. And with that cheeky ward that they put down on the red of Gragas, they knew he was starting over there, so that's what enables Beyond to get in his face and steal some of the wolves away. As mid lane, we're not really going to be seeing much ganks, but there's going to be a lot of noises made. Very noisy mid lane.
It's been a while since we've seen Lissandra. I think we saw her in a couple of games in the spring season. I wasn't commentating them, I don't think. And she just makes a lot of noise on the Korean client. As now, maybe for good reason, as there's the flash and Fate picks up the solo kill First Blood absolutely beautifully in the mid lane.
Yeah, Kuzan looks like he got hit by the chain, and before he knew it, he was in kill range, and obviously he did not know that was possible. So nice little solo kill picked up there from Fate. The two junglers were nearby, but not able to have any effect on the lane, as it is just going to be the solo kill gold going over to Fate. Not much else will change there, as now on Fleek's looking for a gank.
Yeah, Rich could be in trouble here. We'll see whether he has a Relentless Pursuit, gets the extra movement speed. But he's going to get slowed down. Fair bit of damage there onto OnFleek as Rich holding onto his flash for a very long time and flashes the knock up there from Summit. So keeps himself alive, But still successful gank there from On Fleek topside. This SANDBOX is looking much better than the previous version in Game 1.
Yeah, they're very aggressive. I liked what Beyond was doing early on, just shadowing him, but we're going to take a look here at the solo kill. Kuzan, it's just very straightforward. I mean, he was desperately trying to push in the wave a little bit, but I think in that position when you're that low, you got to call over the trundle and try to help push the wave with your jungler, as it was a risky maneuver that he went for, and he got caught for it. He got penalized for it with the death.
Yeah. A little bit bopped there in the mid lane, but still, Kuzan going to be winning in farm quite considerably this stage of the game, and that should be able to keep things pretty even. And as you can see, top side of your screen, the gold is slightly in favor of Team Dynamics. And that has a lot to do with the top side of the map now being owned by Rich, who's halfway towards taking his first turret plate up here as well. He went back, got himself a Vampiric Scepter, so he'll be able to keep his health bar very, very topped up. And as far as these lanes are going, looking great for top and bottom for Team Dynamics, and it's just that death for Kuzan that's really putting a blemish on how they've played this early game so far. Let's see where Beyond is going to go as this game continues. So far, around this bottom side, thinking about a Mountain Drake. But Shelly's going to be up relatively soon. We'll see whether she's going to be the next focus.
Team Dynamics, a very loud team. We already talked about Lissandra, but Trundle is also, the Korean Trundle is really fun.
That's true too.
He's always got a really dry throat, you know? It's like he needs to go to the doctor and get it checked out. He's very raspy and hoarse. But I love the focus on the objectives that Beyond has been going for with the Graves and now the Trundle.
I like the Magical Journey being used, as well as Kuzan might have to use his ultimate on himself as the Mountain Drake is taken. Magical Journey gets them over the wall without a hiccup. Fate's going to move back to mid lane, but Rich is rotating over as well. We'll see whether Beyond can actually find any ganks here as On Fleek. Going to get taken low. Body slams his way through the wall, and Dynamics take the first Mountain Drake. Next one going to be a Cloud in 5 minutes' time. And that means that we are going to have a very spicy Drake for our Dragon Soul, either the Infernal or the Ocean.
I think the Infernal would be the really spicy one. I think both of these comps can use them so well, especially SANDBOXes, obviously, with their very red composition. And the Ocean would be pretty nice for, you know, the Lissandra Trundle, decently tanky front line to just survive against what SANDBOX are bringing in terms of aggression, as Beyond just won't give up. He's just in the face of Gragas the entire game. He has been since that early trade.
Well, you can see Rich not trading super well with Summit here as the chains do land, but he breaks them. But a few of those Qs do land. Rich going to go back home. See whether it's Bilgewater Cutlass and some daggers or something like that, or whether he can complete boots. As he does go home. Not actually deciding to, as he's going to stop. Noticing that Summit is going to be ping-ponging that wave as Root taking a bit of damage there. FaZe with a big collection of chakrams, doing a fair bit of work. And I'm just going to be so perplexed if this is just once again Dynamics moving towards another Aphelios game win, because it just shows that SANDBOX obviously didn't really respect what was certain comfort for this guy in the AD carry position.
Look at the way that Rich is playing this. I love how he didn't flash early on before. But now he's actually pushing it back into the Aatrox. So he had a little bit of a freeze there. Denied some of the kills, some of the XP, but decided that he'd rather put on the pressure. I suppose that does make sense for a lane that is Lucian's. But I feel like he could have denied a little bit more in the freeze.
Yeah.
So not doing LS too proud there, but sending Beyond up, perhaps wants to get priority on this objective instead of just focusing only on his lane. So at the end of the day, should work out pretty well for Team Dynamics, as this game does feel a little bit, once again, like Jungle Difference. As game number 1 absolutely was that.
Yep. And not being able to revisit Rich, his flash is going to be back up very, very soon, as On Fleek's going to make his way in. Does have Predator popped, but now Summit is going to be the target. World Ender for the extra movement speed, but Kuzan makes his way in. Ring of Frost is going to lock him down, and the Aatrox should fall as Dynamics grab their first kill. There's the Tempered Fate, but doesn't actually land there. Cosmic Binding is good, though, as Gorilla has to flash over this wall. Fate's still in the pit, but it is going to be the Rift Herald once again taken by Team Dynamics. Beyond, very, very good at locking down these objectives so far. Has only let one go in this whole series. And that is 3 out of 3 Rift Heralds for Team Dynamics thus far.
And really, it was just Summit getting caught that stopped SANDBOX from having a chance of picking up that objective. Everybody else was in the pit. They had pretty good positioning, but I think it was lack of vision that Summit just walks a little bit too far forward. He doesn't respect the trundle. Yeah, they don't have vision. And Beyond's like, no, I'm going to catch him as he's coming in. Rich already had his eye on him and was probably calling for it, so overall, good vision denial and a bit of a greedy/risky play from Summit to go in there. It did look really silly, but I think it was more than just, Summit making a bad play. It was like denial of vision, and he felt forced to be the one to, flank on the Aatrox. That's what you do, right? That's what he was going for, so pretty unfortunate, but a good play there from Team Dynamics. They pick up that Rift Herald, and they're going to get this early game going once again.
Yeah, we'll see what that Rift Herald is actually going to be utilized for last time. Oh, actually, no, I tell a lie. SANDBOX were able to lock down, I believe, Shelly in the first game because they used it mid lane. We'll see whether that is once again going to be where she goes. As Rich, unfortunately, missing that CS, but will be able to get the remainders and continues to have that 20 CS advantage on this Lucian on the top side of the map. It's a fun team comp out of Dynamics this time, but it is going to take a little bit more finesse to make it work. Last time it felt like they were just able to very comfortably play front-to-back League of Legends and win team fights. This time they're going to have to be a bit more tricky with how they utilize things. As teleport, double, in fact, coming down towards the bottom lane as Cosmic Radiance going to buy a bit of time. Root gets himself underneath the turret. Moonlight Vigil does go wide. Exhaust onto Rich, who has to flash immediately. That's a great barrel onto FaZe, who now is in amongst 5 members of SANDBOX. Does a fair bit of damage before going down, but does exactly that. And it's 2 for nothing in the re-engage. Summit will be able to find one onto Kuzan as well as Guga gets flashed on. The Cosmic Radiance is, Binding is fantastic. As Summit's going to go down very low, but otherwise he's going to be able to get out alive. And 3 for nothing as Team Dynamics start a fight that they weren't able to win.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Oh man, I can understand the aggressive teleports trying to go for a pick. But the second the Cosmic Radiance comes out, you can't dive the turret. The enemy team is going to have double teleport. You should know that. And then the second they pull the trigger, I don't know, what the call was, but everybody's like, yeah, let's dive the Cosmic Radiance 80 carry. Like, once this happens, you just got to back away. You have to respect the teleports. But they dive the turret, everybody gets out of position, and it turns into a total fiesta. Yeah. They're going to give away the Dragon as well as 4 kills to the side of SANDBOX, as we're seeing a little bit of that, maybe some challengers.
Yeah, some challenge
coming in.
Tendencies happening here.
Like, that was just not a play that you would very often see in the LCK. As we're going to see, saying it's 2 of them on the TP. You have ult right. Go Lucian. Go Aphelios. No flash.
Well, we're straight back into a fight here. It's Fate going down relatively low, but Gorilla turns up. And Shelly is going to make her way into this mid lane. We'll get that charge. Delivers a bunch of money over to Kuzan and beyond. That will help Kuzan save himself from what was a bit of an awkward start to this game. 2 deaths already on this Lissandra, but she will just do her job. It's just whether Fate is going to be enabled enough by the extra money coming into his pockets. With, of course, that solo kill earlier on and that last team fight that worked out so well for SANDBOX. It is Ocean Soul this game. Both of these teams with the opportunity of a 3-stack. And yeah, she just makes so much noise.
The trundle's right next to her. Like, you don't even get to hear his voice lines. Those are the craziest ones.
No.
Where he actually speaks and sounds like he, woke up from a pretty harsh night the night before.
They need to make a Soju Trundle skin. Just for the Korean client.
The pillar's just a giant bottle of soju.
Yep. I mean, we've got Brolaf, all right?
True.
Surely we can have, like, a Soju Trundle.
Yeah. not a bad idea. I think that's our second skin idea of the day.
Yeah.
We had, what did we have earlier? I forget what we had.
Yeah, no, that one's done. I just went so
it wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
like,
no.
If we don't remember it, then yeah, just cancel that one.
Well, Beyond has been waiting in this brush for a very long time. As Summit moves on up. That's a great pillar out of Beyond, who flashes to deny the exit of the Aatrox, and they are going to be able to take him down now. This turret should be taken as well. Dynamics, good job being able to grab kills and take objectives off the back of it.
Yeah, it's good proactivity to be up there. I think that Summit probably should have had a ward down there. It's going to be a trade on the map, as of course with 2 players over the top side, SANDBOX will find some luck in the bottom side. Mid lane is, I mean, you can see the health of Lissandra's turret. It's Lissandra with TP. You're not going to push into that with her AoE weave clear. And so Kuzan has been, as you mentioned, he died twice, but still, you know, doing a decent job afterwards to keep up in the farm and make sure that his turret is healthy.
Yeah. Also, Lissandra's always going to do her job, right? You know, I don't think you're too worried about
pretty
Lissandra
straightforward
in this game as far as falling behind, because of course the ultimate is why you really utilize this pickup. We'll see how much better he's going to be able to play as this game goes on. Because of course, if you talk about scaling, I feel like Taric scales extraordinarily well and will skew this game a little bit into SANDBOX's favor when we get to late game team fights where everyone can get into that cosmic radiance. But Kuzan can buy so much time. I mean, also the Trundle, the disengage potential that you have with this pick, also very strong as OnFleek gets into this brush, but FaZe, he's here in position. It is stolen there as OnFleek does have to go golden. Gorilla taking a lot of damage though, as the Cosmic Radiance is not going to arm in time and he is going to fall. Kuzan goes golden there in the back of the pit as OnFleek. He also uses his stopwatch. Moonlight Vigil avoided based on that one, but FaZe still able to grab that kill, and now Summit trying to run away from Team Dynamics, but everything was taken as far as the objectives by SANDBOX.
Yeah, SANDBOX are going to pick up Shirley. We have mentioned that, of course, with turret plates down, Shirley can be a pretty meh objective. It gets you some good lane pushing around objectives, so maybe if OnFleek can spawn and drop it mid and move over to the Ocean Drake, that could be nice, but definitely the 2 kills are going to get this snowball rolling for Team Dynamics, as it was a nice stun, actually, from Guger before OnFleek went for the play. And Gorilla was a little bit too far forward. Note also Kuzan zoning out 2 people alongside Rich, as they weren't able to get in there and help out OnFleek and Summit. And after that, it was basically just a separated team fight that SANDBOX were just trying to disengage from. So Dynamics will come ahead with the gold, and actually there wasn't enough time to drop a Rift Herald and go for a rush towards the dragon or anything like that. So it is going to go the way of Team Dynamics here.
Yep, stacking up their first Ocean Drake, pairing it with the Mountain that they had earlier. Mountain Drake actually going to be pretty good here for Team Dynamics. Even Kuzan going to be happy to have those extra stats to help bolster things like his Aftershock. As Beyond and FaZe now clear out this mini wave as well. Gorilla going to get pillared. He'll be fine. Q lands. Fair bit of extra poke here from FaZe actually. As Fate looks for the chains, doesn't find them. That auto attack goes very, very far. It doesn't quite land the moonshot, as the Calibrum was recently sheathed. And we've got FaZe cycling through those weapons, as we know. Outer turret taken bottom side, and it's 1-3-1. It seems to be the aim of the game here for Dynamics, as both Lissandra and Lucian pretty good in a 1v1 setting.
Yeah, it's similar.
Sorry, in a 1-3-1 setting.
Yeah, it's similar to game number 1 too. You remember they had the Aatrox LeBlanc. And so this time they have Lucian, Lissandra that both have TP, same thing. And it really does feel like Team Dynamics are comfortable in that kind of play style. So although I feel like SANDBOX are definitely in a much better position in this game compared to game number 1, we'll have to wait and see. I'm excited to see how this game is going to play out. Obviously, they would have liked a little bit more farm on the Aphelios, I suppose, is up against Root's Callista. He is falling pretty far behind now, but at least they do have the Lucian that is doing a pretty good job up in the top side with the double 80 carry plus front line that is Lissandra and Trundle.
Yeah, Rich is super far ahead at the moment on this Lucian. Let's see where that Black Cleaver is going to be, how soon that's going to come in here for Team Dynamics. As FaZe able to clear out these minion waves very, very quickly, and will be able to do so even faster once his Runeon's Hurricane does come in. Of course, that Zeal will be turning into one of those. And Root going to be doing the same. Of course, has a less expensive option, so he's very close to that Runeon's at the moment. As he got to build just the Blade of the Ruin King in comparison to the Infinity Edge that FaZe managed to pick up.
We're just chilling once again. It's a little bit of a lull state with Ocean Drakes coming up every 5 minutes, which will be where we'll get the majority of our entertainment.
Yeah, we'll see what Guga's going to be able to do. I think the Tempered Fate is going to be very, very impactful to try and secure these objectives.
Yeah, I really loved the Bard last pick into what SANDBOX were showing. Because SANDBOX, with their first 4 or even first 3 picks, they were already showing their cards face up on what kind of style they wanted to play. And because SANDBOX is so predictable, it made it even easier. And Dynamics were like, hey, you know what would be really good? A mage support that's great at disengaging.
Yeah.
And great at isolation. And that's exactly what they went for with the Bard. So I was very happy with that last pick.
Fate looking for Guga, doesn't get him.
I thought maybe I was going to cast her curse in there.
Yeah, straight away. That's okay. He's going to survive. No stopwatches or anything, but does have a Shirelia's Revelry. Meep slapping people around as well, as there's the tower falling in the mid lane, but now Summit off to the side. Rich trying to run out of this one, does so. Cosmic Radiance does nothing. And now we have a minute and a half until this Ocean Drake is going to be next on the menu. We'll see whether Gorilla will have that ultimate available in time.
It's pretty unfortunate there. It was like a game of chicken. You know, you don't want to cast it too late and then have one of your teammates die. You don't want to cast it too early like that and have Team Dynamics just disengage as they did. And so big cooldown on cooldown.
Yep.
And I think he should have it in time for when they do fight around the Ocean Drake. So that should be decent enough. But yeah, probably not going to have... It's going to be close. I don't know. He might be like 10, 20 seconds off of it, but then maybe they, you know, wait a little bit before they actually do hard engage for that. But until that time, I guarantee no action.
Well, Guga's going to make his way back to the mid lane, but of course it's FaZe here to pick up all of this CS. Pulled it back to within a 20 CS gap. As on Fleek just trying to get some vision down in preparation for this next Ocean Drake. Soul point available for Team Dynamics as Root is going to get pillared. FaZe dishing out a lot of damage as the Cosmic Radiance, sorry, not going to be used yet because of course still halfway through that cooldown. 6 seconds until the Ocean Drake does spawn. Gorilla going low, but he's going to be able to keep himself alive with those heals. Summit also off to the side. World Ender in hand at this point, but the Drake is being taken low. Barrel coming on in. It's now Fate finally getting into this fight. There's the Moonlight Vigil, and the Barrel comes down as well, but they're not able to get into this pit, and it is going to be that Ocean Soul Point Rich tearing apart the LeBlanc, but meanwhile up to the back-end FaZe, getting all that work done. And this is how Team Dynamics wanted this team comp to work.
That looked like a Mega Death Inferno Bomb or whatever Zig's ultimate was.
Super Mega Inferno Death Bomb?
Yeah, the amount of AoE damage that came out there, that was a perfect engage from Kuzan. Bunched them all up, slowed them all up, and then immediately FaZe is like, hold my beer, I'm going in. I'm diving face first into this one. And immediately 3 of them were just blown to pieces as if they did not exist. Team Dynamics, their positioning, every single Dragon fight has been better than SANDBOX's. They corralled them into that little corridor. You can see Summit was desperately trying to get an angle. And at the end of the day, it was just great team fighting here from Team Dynamics.
Yeah, let's have a look at it once again. Keep your eye on Kuzan. I was watching
this.
Rich towards the top of your screen, but yeah, in goes the claw, and the Barrel unable to deny Kuzan. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
They had it in slow motion, so it felt like it was 200 years to get through this replay. But we did see that FaZe showed us the real 200 years right there. As the redemption, it was hard, you know, because you feel so tempted to go into that brush with the Ocean Rift. But at the same time, when you're going up against Lissandra Aphelios with his AoE, generally not a good idea. As we did just see there, SANDBOX learned their lesson. And at this point, Dynamics in a really nice spot now. Aphelios is catching up with that extra kill and assist. And as you mentioned, Rich is doing a great job of isolating targets.
There's the caster curse.
Well,
love it. Absolutely fantastic stuff there, Brendan. Valdez,
thanks,
Rich in the death chamber instantly.
God, Rich. It's League of Legends.
Yeah, beautiful.
Not Heroes of the Storm. You don't want to. You can't really 1v5 in this game.
No. Although I don't think you could really do it in Heroes of the Storm either. So.
You probably survive longer than that.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Didn't look very rich there. But yeah, it's pretty unfortunate that he does get caught out there. As you can see, he's just a great engage actually from on fleek. I don't think you can face check brushes with the amount of engage that SANDBOX have, and he got punished for it.
The problem is that they get nothing from it, right? Like,
true. Yeah.
There was no Ocean Drake to look for. Temper Fate comes down here, gets a distortion out of Fate. Probably not the trade that you want. Tempered Fate onto Fate. Oh, God. This inner turret now going to be the next one to be taken down. That was one Baron missing. That's actually a good thing here from SANDBOX. I guess we didn't factor that part of it in. As Beyond now going to get belly bopped, but on fleek taking too much damage there as Rich zoning them all out with the culling. Now Root trying to get in there. He's hopping around. Gorilla dives on in as well. Cosmic Radiance lands, but it's just Gorilla and Root that are unable to be taken down, and the Kuzan is going to get in. Summit now as well. Underneath this turret, but can't get anything back. That's a triple kill so far. Make it a quadra for FaZe, who's now going to move towards some inhibitor turrets and look for Fate to see whether he can lock down that pentakill. 10-5 is the kill score, and it looks like Team Dynamics are going to move to the next round very easily up against SANDBOX.
That should be it. Fate is going to try to come in here and give the Penta away. Let's see if he's successful.
Yep, we're going to look for it. FaZe is going to... No! Guga, what the heck was that? That's Guga the Goober to the rescue there as on fleek now has to go back to his fountain, and the Nexus is going to fall. SANDBOX, one